So if Bayonetta could do a random flying section, why can't Freedom Planet? Now in this segment, you're riding on this awesome dragon, so, well, you shoot with your attack button and you shoot a laser with the special attack button. That's about all there is to it. Duck and weave, and your hitbox is Lilac herself. So it's kind of like Toho in a way, except, you know, sideways. You can shoot down enemy fire, and just... It's just a basic shmup section, really. There's not too much to it. Don't even know if it's technically part of this level, but since, you know, the damage you take in here is at the start of Battle Glacier, you do want to at least try to be careful. Just keep an eye on where Lilac is. Like I didn't right there. Not all that much enemy variety either, just a bunch of Lord Brevons bots in to try to kill you before you can get to the actual stage. And speaking of a boss anyways, we have Syntax here, the robot that, you know, helped brainwash the prince. Just keep out of the way of the beams and get as close as possible for the maximum amount of hits, and use your lasers wisely, and don't get hit. Basically keep repeating that until, you know, it's done, like so. Kamehameha. Now for the stage proper, Battle Glacier, well, very combat heavy, as you can get from the name. There's random points where these platforms will pop up. I'm not entirely sure where they all pop up because, yeah, I'm still learning this stage myself. This is one of my least replayed stages, although I do like it. Nice aurora going on in the background. Epic battle in the snowfield. Haven't done like an epic battle in the snowfield much since like Contra on the NES, or there's a couple other examples I'm probably missing right now. Enemies here will start appearing from almost every stage you've come across thus far, including the dragonflies from even Dragon Valley now. Those guys from Relic Maze. The Jade Creek meteors. Lord Brevons just sending all his troops out at you to try to kill you. There's a couple, Shuigong guys too in helicopters, which I have not managed to get the achievement for yet, which you have to dragon boost and kill them with one single dragon boost. Which I think you have to place yourself almost in the middle of them. There's a lot to run through. Now if you're just blindly running through, like without keeping an eye on where everything is, you're gonna take a lot of hits really quick. You need to keep your guard up at all times. Those were the helicopters I was talking about earlier. There's plenty of shields for you to gather throughout the stage. There's also a lot of mines like that, or explosive boxes. Also, this stage is fairly long. Takes even like 10 plus minutes for people who have, who are familiar with it. Although speedrunners have probably done it super ultra fast. I'm no speedrunner. Props to all you speedrunners out there, though. Do admire your work. We just got sniped. The mid-boss is actually one of my least favorite bosses in the game. Sadly, you won't get to see why much. You'll see what I mean later. Now the gimmick is You have to kick these things into the boxes, these drills, because you have to pierce the heavens somehow. But yeah, it's a little tedious, but it's not too bad. Although, don't get above them. The drill does actually hurt you. Yeah, that takes a good two-ish petals away, and that's not fun. It's easy to lose your shields here, as you're probably noticing. I'm flipping on them like a dime because I have to keep switching. Now here's here's failure. What failure looks like. Yeah, they'll just constantly blast at you for all, you know. They don't want you getting to that darn ship. I hate these big green guys, by the way. Okay, we're at the mid-boss, which is one of Lord Brevons' super ships. Its weakness is the core on the front of it, as you can see. Just avoid the blast by trying to keep up with the pace. It attempts to ram you, but if you like time a dragon boost just perfectly, you can hit him while they're dashing at you. I do not advise that unless you are really confident about your short hopping ability. Maybe practice some Smash Brothers. Also, keep away from that stream of blasts. You do not have... There's no hit stun, so you can constantly get hit. Oh, there is hit stun. What I mean to say, freaking invincibility frame. Sorry, not hit stun. And with a constant beating, you can just take out the ship. Like, that boss gave me so much trouble in my first run. I think I died at least 15 times, but now it's like, oh, I know your pattern. Just keep the blast, like, keep aware of everything going on, basically. Carol can abuse invincibility frames a bit better, but now here we have the second segment. There's a lot to it. It's a lot more like thermal base and how you have to go from not exactly point A to point B, but there's a lot of go-arounds. I hate these frog guys, by the way. Although they're not too bad, they do a ton of damage if they hit you with the bubbles. I wonder if that was inspired by Bubble Bobble at all. Now this guy tries to shoot downward. Occasionally he'll go all hyper spammy, and he'll also shoot upward, which you can use this crane platform to abuse. You can actually hit him with... I have no idea why he did that, but anyway, you can spin downward towards him and... Try not to be as reckless as I am. There's a problem with me in games like this sometimes. I'll get super reckless and be like, oh yeah, I can take him. Then, yeah, toast. You can't really go through there. You have to go around, obviously. But the reason why we went over there first is because we couldn't go up here until that door was open, and the door wouldn't open until that boss was gone. Oh yay, more of this. We're still in for the long haul, folks. We haven't even... Well, we've scratched the surface, but there's still quite a bit more of this stage. Now Brevons' elite guards will jump in the fray again. And they are going to become even more persistent because of how many more of them appear. Welcome to the panel switching section. As you can see, when red's flipped, red is solid, green is not. When green is flipped, green is solid, yada yada yada. I think Mega Man X did that a few times. Heck, Sonic Colors did that at least once, I think. Although the placement is completely unique to Freedom Planet itself. And the design, too. Like, I've noticed, I've been comparing this to other things when, you know, I really love this game, and, you know, it's like, I don't want to make it seem like it's not unique. It is, it's just, there's a lot of things as, like, a gamer since I've been 3 that I notice. Once again, another need to Dragon Boost moment. Oh hey, look, tons and tons of enemies. Tons of panel switches. Oh yeah, these guys can shoot through the solid or... Yeah, they can shoot through the solids, and that's stupid. Very stupid. A little bit of a puzzle, you just have to go... There's a lot of back and forth, though. So many crystals. By this point, you're like, there's so much left. And then this spider guy back from Dragon Valley. Do what you did before, take him out to take, you know, the platforms down. Another Tau token, woo! I've never really found all of those yet. I mean, you just get to roll a die for shields and stuff, as you saw earlier. You gotta use your fancy drop kicks. Oh, and what I forgot to mention earlier is that when your bar's blinking red like that, like, you're in pinch mode. You're gonna die if you get hit again. You can sometimes take a hit before, you know, this activates, so you can actually survive. It's kind of like Second Chance in Kingdom Hearts. A little bit. That's what I'd draw the comparison to, anyways. And I'm way too weak to even try to tackle anything right now. But thankfully, there's a ton of life. Ready for the prince again? You can actually take out his shield while he's monologuing here. So basically, strategy like this is a very patient boss fight. You have to take out his shield and then hit him, which that's a total of 3 hits per time you have to hit him. Then he releases some minions who can give you some health back, but he likes throwing these little green beams at you, which kind of home in on you. He will drop close to the ground when he's about to do his super attack, and that's your chance to actually hit him. Lilac can get a few cool hits with her Dragon Boost, but I think Carol gets more mileage out of this boss fight because she can actually climb the wall, avoid his attacks, and dive attack at him. But then again, you know, like, Lilac has the super cool Dragon Boost, which makes a lot of bosses a lot easier. What I meant to say earlier on freaking Sky Battalion was that she's the safer option, that being Carol, because, you know, she has more options against bosses. In my opinion, anyways. You might disagree with that. I'm much better with Lilac, though. This boss takes quite a bit of time. So, yeah, you're in for a long haul now. And why I didn't move, I'll never know. His attacks are pretty damaging, but if you can keep your health good enough and constantly keep getting health back, you shouldn't die, but It is easy to die here too if you're not careful. You can also cheap shot you somewhat. Also, this attack's trajectory is kind of weird to figure out. That's why I typically sit in a corner so I can see where it's going, so I can just jump if need be. If you're near the center of the attack, you're gonna have a lot to dodge, though. Or you can just drag and boost through it, probably. Sadly, you can only hit him once before he raises his shield one more time, or else I'd be trying to dragon boost him. Unless you can. That'd be nice to know if I could or not. He likes his lightning attacks, that's for sure. Maybe he's a fan of Final Fantasy 13 as well. Go for it! And with that, the prince has been routed once again. I'll meet up with you in the in the final battle itself. See ya.
Spade!
I hate to disappoint you, but I'm just passing through. Have fun saving the world.
Look, I'm sorry, okay? I was scared. I didn't know what I was doing.
You still don't.
Attention, troops. Prepare for liftoff.
Listen, guys. I'll go in alone while you help the general take back the city.
Why can't we go in together?
It'll be easier this way, trust me.
But they'll have a harder time catching us if we stick together.
But that's what Brevons expecting us to do.
Then let me go instead. You're too important to the mission.
I can't lose another crew! If something happens to you, I'm not strong enough to save you.
We'll be strong for you.
We said we were gonna help you get back the stone. We still mean it.
You're stuck with us, buddy, whether you like it or not.
As soon as you step foot into that dreadnought, you may never come out again. Are you ready to make that sacrifice?
Yeah, whatever. Let's go. We're wasting time.
Alright, here's the plan.